Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, in this analysis, and I want to say thank you very much for your unconditional support in this channel. Bishop Margaret Wanjiru, who has been eyeing the Nairobi Governor's seat through the UDA ticket, is being thrown under the bus. I think there is something that is very critical, and I did an analysis here sometime, I think 2 weeks ago, that she had refused to step down for Johnson Sakaja. And of course, that is now coming out clearly. There was an exclusive interview that Sakaja had with The Star. And Sakaja mentioned that after ditching Jubilee Party, he never joined ANC, but he joined the UDA party. That is what Sakaja said. But again, there is something I want you to remember about Sakaja. During the ANC UDA merger, or rather the Bomas of Kenya event on 23rd January, Sakaja was actually playing a key role within the ANC. And it is in public domain that it took the intervention, or rather, the intermediaries between RUTO and Musalia Mudavadi were two gentlemen, Johnson Sakaja and Cleophas Malala. So, and something happened that before even Mudavadi joined RUTO, Johnson Sakaja had started becoming so cozy with Musalia Mudavadi. So I think that happened last year around 2021 around September. That's when Sakaja was started drawing near to Musalia Mudavadi. And I want to agree that he was used to bring Mudavadi on their side. But even as that was going on, Bishop Margaret Wanjiru was already close and a staunch supporter of the UDA party, and announced that she was seeking the Nairobi Governor's seat through the UDA party. So what happened? Because all along, you will actually realize that Margaret Wanjiru had been seen as the person who was the most formidable candidate in UDA. But this is how she was thrown under the bus. After Sakaja joined, after Mudavadi and William Ruto joined hands, I want to believe that Sakaja was initially in ANC. But during that negotiation of Malala and Khalwale, his fate was also sealed. And sometimes some of the things we say in this channel, some of you take them as just mere propaganda, mere speculation. But what people don't know is that there is more that we receive, and there is deep than just what you see in the newspapers, and you read and you watch in the TVs. There was a power sharing deal, and of course we are going to visit that. So what was done is Sakaja's entry in UDA was kept a high secret. It was a highly guarded secret. In fact, I may want to think that when Sakaja joined UDA, he joined UDA last minute, and they made sure that Margaret Wanjiru was in the dark. Because if Margaret Wanjiru would have known that Sakaja joined UDA, I think the truth of the matter, she would have known that Sakaja is seeking that seat through UDA, and Margaret Wanjiru would have left the UDA party before that party hopping window. Now that that window is closed, 2 weeks later is when Sakaja is making it open that he is actually a member of UDA. So the truth of the matter, if you look at it critically, Margaret Wanjiru is being thrown under the bus. She was tricked, very smart trick, by Sakaja, Ruto, and Mudavadi. They tricked Margaret Wanjiru. So, of course, after that, and you will realize that as the negotiations were going on, Sakaja was posing as an ANC candidate in governor. But yesterday, there was 2 meetings. There were aspirants meeting under UDA that was held in Karen. That meeting was attended by the UDA aspirants in Nairobi, and Margaret Wanjiru was in attendance. I think this is the photo you're seeing here. I also saw Minister Tomanga was there shortly, and also Nelson Harvey, the Nixon Korir and the team. The aspirants within Nairobi were meeting there. Even in that meeting, Sakaja was not there. In fact, Sakaja was attending an ANC meeting somewhere at Musalia Mudavadi's center, command center. So she was being played. And even if you look at the rallies that were held in Nairobi, Sakaja, and I think, look at this photo here. Sakaja was sharing a car with Mudavadi. Look at the shirt he's putting on. It is neither ANC nor UDA. In fact, it's more of Ford Kenya. You understand? So that is how these were things that were really seen and were planned. But Margaret Wanjiru did not see that coming. Now, what is on table here, according to reports we're receiving, is that William Ruto is asking Margaret Wanjiru that the only option to do is to step down for Johnson Sakaja. But that is also to allow Sakaja fly the ticket so that she can be Sakaja's running mate. That is something that that is something that we understand that Wanjiru has refused, and she wants to go for the nominations. In fact, the meeting she was attending in Karen was to prepare for the nomination. So she's calling for nominations between Sakaja and herself. But there is something that William Ruto doesn't want, and I mentioned, and he's kind of his right to hate this, the nomination within Nairobi. If there is a place where these cities, there's a place where you will fear nominations, is this city, because it can easily be penetrated. It can be penetrated. You can go for nominations, and the opponents of Kenya Kwanza can make sure they marshal their supporters, because again, that nomination is not going to be parallel to the Azimio team. They can marshal their supporters so that Margaret Wanjiru defeats Sakaja in the nomination. That is a big likelihood. You call for free and fair? Yes. What someone will do is will plant the malls around these areas, and they will go there and vote for Margaret Wanjiru, because they know that the truth of the matter that between Wanjiru and Sakaja is more formidable, it is more popular, and is more likely to win a seat compared to Margaret Wanjiru. That is what is happening. Now we understand Wanjiru has refused to step down, and she has also turned down that running mate offer. And I think I was trying to follow up some of their recent activities. She has also slowed down her campaigns for the governor. In fact, she normally runs the online services at the church, the Jesus is Alive, the GM. And she, in fact, for the two services, she is never mentioned about her political persuasions, or rather her political exploits. She's been a little bit silent or trying to go down. And I want to agree with some fellows who are telling me, someone was telling me from, I think, Dagoretti, because I once stayed there, that her posters are now being removed. She had already elected some posters there vying for governor, and it's being removed. I don't know whether I can also question whether there is a likelihood of Millicent Omanga crossing over to ANC. Because after yesterday, I also saw her going to attend that meeting. There could be she's just going to mingle with the leaders, because, that is the leadership of Nairobi. ANC, Musalia Mudavadi was meeting some aspirants within Nairobi. That could be a probability. But I also think that in this power sharing aspect, you will not be surprised to see Millicent Omanga seeking that seat through ANC. But now I want to tell you 3 reasons why I think that that Sakaja was forced, or rather requested, to shift from ANC to UDA. This is the truth of the matter. Sakaja did not go to UDA directly. That one they are lying. Sakaja was formerly in ANC, and somewhere hapa katikati in the last minute of the party hopping, he crossed over to the UDA. That is one thing I think. He did not come. If he would have come from from Jubilee directly to UDA, that would have been made public. We would have known, because that will be a big earthquake. It was not strategy. So I want to tell you why that swapped, why he had to swap from ANC to UDA. Sakaja, remember that power sharing deal? And we once leaked it here, that the ANC and UDA were trying to organize themselves to share the spoils between Kakamega and Nairobi. Now, part of the sacrifice that UDA made to give Malala the ANC ticket in Kakamega was in exchange of governor's seat in Nairobi. That is why the candidate that was supposed to be governor candidate in Nairobi was from UDA, but then William Ruto is fearing that Margaret Wanjiru is not that formidable. And again, the reason why he would not front Wanjiru to fly the UDA ticket is if there is an opinion poll that was showing that the people who support Raila Odinga are people who are a bit learned and between the middle class. Now that middle class is in Nairobi, and that middle class of the Kikuyu nation are supporting Raila Odinga. So even if you give a candidate in the name of Wanjiru, and Wanjiru is a Kikuyu and is directly to William Ruto, it is not going to work out. There is a likelihood of Wanjiru losing. And again, the voting blocks of Nairobi, you need to look at the demographics in Nairobi. The voting blocks in Nairobi are the slums. This is Kibera, the Mathare, the Ruben, all these areas. Now, if you take Wanjiru and Sakaja to these areas, you will see that Sakaja is more likely appealing to that audience, and of course his campaigns have been concentrated in those areas and is likely to win. So because Ruto wanted to win the UDA ticket, because he wanted to win the Nairobi seat, but the only way to win it is through Sakaja, and he cannot win it through Margaret Wanjiru. Number two, the Mudavadi backlash. When Mudavadi joined William Ruto, he experienced a backlash because there were leaders that defected from that party to the other parties. So he remained with both, kind of a shell of a party. So what that means is that Sakaja does not want to rely more on Mudavadi, but would want to get, because he already gotten cozy with Mudavadi, and of course Mudavadi is now supporting him. But if he also adds William Ruto on this side, he's standing a bigger chance. So he doesn't want to vie as a Mudavadi candidate, because if you get as a Mudavadi candidate, Mudavadi has a problem with the backlash. The part of a big chunk of Loya Nation are saying that we did not go with him to Kenya Kwanza. And again, Mudavadi has been attacking the president, and the president, the bit of that anger of the Kikuyu voters in Nairobi. So they may not vote a Mudavadi candidate. Number three, lastly, I think Ruto is likely to fund Sakaja campaigns. In Nairobi, if there is a place that you need a lot of money to campaign, is the CBD. I was talking to an MCA aspirant, I think not MCA, and yes, he's an MP aspirant in Makadara, and he was telling me that you can spend 500,000 in 2 days just lobbying on meetings. You've not even held those meetings. You want to go and speak to voters in person in like somewhere in Makadara. And like, for example, I realized in Makadara, an aspirant was being told to pay 200,000 just to prepare ground before he holds a rally there. That tells me that for William Ruto to seize the leadership of the city, he's going to bankroll Johnson Sakaja. I'm not saying that Sakaja cannot have his own campaigns, but again, if you look at his campaigns, financially, there is a likelihood that William Ruto is going to support him, because one thing that Ruto will want is to control the Nairobi. Ladies and gentlemen, you can also give us your take on why Sakaja moved to UDA from ANC. There is nothing like he left Jubilee to UDA.